Right, well, hello, and yeah, we're still indoors, we're still at home, we still can't go out, it's still that time of life. Yeah, we're going to do another conversation, but this time, if you haven't seen this, I'm going to be talking to some subscribers. Yeah, I'll let them explain who they are and where they're from, but this is pretty epic. This is going to get Mrs. C in as well in a minute. She's just tied him up after dinner. I know I should be doing it, but I've got a good wife. Right, I'm going to get these on now because I've got 2 minutes before the conversation starts. And yeah, let's hope this one goes to plan. Let's hopefully that'll
Are you on
work.
lockdown, kids? Sorry, say again?
Can I come and sleep in?
Lockdown.
Can I
Sit
sleep in?
there.
No, because your leg will
Right.
be dead.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hi.
There. Alex, I'm in lockdown, but even more so because my wife is an American and she is on the other side of the border from me. I haven't actually been there for the last 3 weeks.
So that's a bit harsh then if you can't see your wife.
Yeah, for sure.
We've definitely got a slight delay on the connection anyway, haven't we?
On the audio there. Good morning, or afternoon, or evening, Denise.
Hi.
And we've got Keith at the bottom.
Keith and Alex. Yeah. Everything's frozen to me.
It's going a bit slow.
It might be because my daughter is using the internet as well in the bottom bedroom. We've got my daughter staying.
Kick her out. Kick her out.
Kick her out, yeah. We did, but she's come back while she's working. Alex is dedicated. It's 4 a.m. over there now.
I know, I heard him too. Oh, you're crazy. The weird thing is that Keith is in our past. Is it past?
Yeah.
Yeah, Keith is in our past. You're in our present, Alex. Future. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Ah, hello, sir.
Oh, hello there. How's it going?
Blair has come to the party. I'm going to move my camera over slightly so I can see it. There we go.
Can you see me now?
So my Alexa
can you hear me?
talking to me.
Yeah, we can hear you.
We can hear you.
Good morning, Blair.
Good morning.
Yeah, morning.
That's it's good. Actually, good afternoon.
You're the lucky one.
Is it good evening for you? Good afternoon for me.
And tomorrow morning for Alex.
Because I'm up 4 a.m.
4 a.m. Oh, good morning. I feel sorry for you right now.
You can't say good morning yet because we've not got there yet.
That's true.
Yeah, well, the sun's not out.
7:10 in the evening here.
So how's things in Toronto?
It's pretty tough right now, actually. They've really started to clamp down on us.
Yeah.
They've basically isolation. A lot of places have closed down.
Yeah.
They just introduced a huge fine if you're caught not social distancing.
Wow. Yeah, yeah.
It's a minimum of $1,000 fine.
Wow.
Yeah.
But I think it's needed. You know, we've been watching the people in the local town on Facebook today, and there's people been out and putting stuff on Facebook and cameras and things like, why are you doing this?
Yeah.
Have you not got the idea yet that we're all supposed to be at home?
Yeah. People aren't listening, and I know that the premier is really starting to get upset with people.
Yeah.
We need to isolate.
We do.
Yeah, definitely.
Right.
I've been home for 2 weeks now. So
we've had 2 weeks in, but we've been working, so at least we've been allowed out to work.
Yeah. Well, I am a key worker or an essential worker, but our establishment decided that it would be better off to just close.
Yeah.
Yeah. I deal with the public a lot.
Anyway, should we on a
Alex wanted to talk.
sorry, Alex.
Yeah, go on.
No,
Go on, Paul.
go on, Alex. You speak. You're up at 4 o'clock in the morning. You're an angel.
Yeah, no, I'm essential services as well, and we were sent home. Well, we tried doing work from home about 3 weeks ago, and then the company decided to dump everyone out. So we had to set ourselves up because most of my work is behind the computer. So I spend 10, 12, 14-hour days in front of the computer now. I'm not sure what day of the week it is anymore. I just know that
it is. It's
there's
definitely
screens in front of me.
definitely a crazy time at the moment. Crazy time.
And yesterday I was looking at the news, and Manly, one of the most populous in New South Wales, it was full of people.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Even though they got fines, you talk about $1,000. It's 1,000 per person and 13,000 per company or group. Yeah, they still rock up, and their excuse is I'm exercising, but they're just a big pile of people.
Yeah, we've got plenty doing the same, using the excuse as an exercise, but exercising with your cameras and exercising on a bike 50 miles isn't exercise. That's just a day out. It's a bit silly, to be honest. But
we're not even go to the parks.
People will get the idea.
Yeah. Well, we just it was on the news this morning that there was a 20-year-old that decided to have a big house party last night.
Wow.
Yeah, just about 20 minutes from here. And the cops got a hold of it, and he got fined $100,000.
Whoa!
Yeah.
Crazy.
That'll
Nice.
teach him.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's change the subject. Let's go over to photography, as I suppose this is the basis of how you know both of us. Have you got any questions you want to ask us about photography?
Before you change, I need to give you the BC perspective. I've been in self-isolation, as most people here have, for 3 weeks so far, and our infection rate is very, very low, and we're probably at the peak. And so far, there's only been 51 deaths in this province. So
That's pretty good then. Yeah, so it does work. Prove it does work.
yeah, all right, I'll change the subject. Fine.
Yeah, who wants to go first? I mean, Blair, you're on the YouTube channel. You're almost famous to me now, and your mum as well. It's I was pretty honoured to get that from you. And so.
I gotta tell you, that was a fantastic thing, and it brought a huge smile to her face. And it's up on her wall. I haven't taken a picture of it to show you yet, but because we have to move her around to another place. But that was fantastic. I thank both of you. I have to say that both of you are absolutely fantastic people.
We don't do bad. We try.
When comments were coming in the calendar, about who would deserve it or who they wanted to give it to, I said from the beginning, anybody that says anything about mum or family or anything else, and then every one was about some family members like, oh my god, it got to the point where I said, well, can I just have 10? Can I not give 10? Like, they haven't really got a pick. I was like, oh, seriously? And that was such a hard job having to pick one.
That's why I want to do it.
Yeah, it was so.
I did.
I'd given 10 of his calendars away to different.
I did read a lot of the comments that were sent in to you, and when you picked my name, it was an honor. Thank you. And the calendar's great.
To be honest,
especially those
really
little
quite
pictures
pleased
at the bottom. Those little pictures that were included, they just made
all the little pictures.
I'll take them out next year. Just put mine in. Anyway, Keith, I'm sure you must have a question for us.
Not so much a question. I was going to give you a little bit of background.
Go on. Then.
I've been interested in your gradual shift from Canon to Fuji, and I followed much the same path, except from Nikon to Fuji. Yeah. I've been using Nikon ever since 1959, when I bought 2 of the original Fs.
Wow!
Nikon equipment ever since. I still have quite a bit of Nikon equipment, including the last and best of the Nikon professional film cameras, the F6. It's a pretty scary camera, but I still have it. But yeah, I'm a super fan of Fuji. I have 5 different Fuji bodies, and I have about a dozen Fuji lenses. The quality is excellent.
Yeah.
And as I say, I've been both happy and amused to see your transition to where both of you are now primarily using Fuji.
Yes, it's a bit biased to the fact that whatever I transition to, Denise sort of has to, because she has me cast offs. Yeah. So she's sort of dragged along, kicking and screaming, of course. But the funny thing is, whenever I've actually changed camera, you know, going from the 70D to the 7D, from the 7D to the 5D in the Canon, and Denise has taken my, say, cast offs, she seems to get a better quality images out of them, you know, and I don't quite understand that. That just makes it sound like I don't know what I'm doing, but
that's a better eye.
But
no, you want us to explain that, or
the Fuji's, I bought the Fuji originally because with the camera club we were doing some street photography, and carrying the 5D Mark III round was a big camera to be poking in people's faces. So I went to Fuji with the X-T1 purely because it was smaller. I could put a little tiny compact lens on it, and it was less intimidating to poke in faces. But I didn't really get on with the X-T1. I wasn't convinced by its quality. The X-T2 then came out, so you know, I passed that one over to Denise. She did all right with it, and the X-T2 was better, so I started using it a bit more over the Canon, and it became like sort of lightweight camera. I like the colors, I like the way it works, I like the simplicity of it as well, rather than having to think about it. And then the X-T3, obviously, better still again.
He actually bought the X-T3. One of the selling points that he put up to me about the X-T3 was, you could just think, when I get the X-T3, you can have the X-T2. Just think how much better you're going to be with the X-T2. So, of course, when the X-T3 arrived and he hadn't told me that he bought it, I put my hand out and said, right, come on then.
She ripped it out of my hand.
I said, I'll have my X-T2 then. He said, what do you mean? He said, seriously, you're going to take it? I went, oh yeah. I said, that was what you sold it to me, you know, with. I said, so I'll have my camera now, please.
Yeah.
And it made him change all the metadata, so my name was in there and not his. So I said, you know, he said, I can't believe that you're going to take the camera. And I said, I can't believe you thought I wouldn't. And took it. So.
The only downside I've got with, you know, with the camera really is I sort of went over for a lighter weight kit, but I've been buying the heavier lenses. So I've got the heavier, better quality lenses. I don't know where I need them, but I got this way about me that I always feel like if someone's using it, it's got to be better. And my latest is, we haven't seen it yet, but this is the latest piece of kit. This is the 100-400 for the Fuji.
We've all seen your photo promoting that.
I was going to say we all saw the photo.
The only problem I've got is I've definitely got to sell the Canon stuff now. Otherwise, I'm going to be losing one of these hands probably. So yeah, it's the Canon stuff's going to go. And I think knowing the X-T4's out now, I'd like to have the two bodies. So if I can sell my Canon stuff, that's convinced me to get rid of it. I'll get the X-T4 as a second body. But yeah, I'm happy with the Fuji.
I don't sell my Canon.
Yeah. I don't feel that I need the highest possible quality. You know, yes, the Canon's better, but I don't, for what we do with it, I don't think you need it. I really don't.
I just want to take you to task over a minor issue. I mentioned this to you in a message some time ago, but and that's lens hoods. Now, I understand and appreciate why you don't routinely use lens hoods, because you got your case filters and all the rest that goes with it. But where I'm taking you to task is every time I see you with your 50 to 140, you've got the lens hood on, put on backwards.
That
if
is,
you never use it, just leave it at home.
No, that is a very, very good question. And it's very easily to answer. The answer is because it fits in my bag. Now, I carry all my lens hoods in my bag, and they fold backwards inside each other on the back of the 50 to 140. So, and I did it with a Canon as well, so that if I'm out and it is raining, I can put my lens hoods on. But because that one's quite a big hood, it stays on the lens. So of course, when I put it on the camera, it's still attached. So yeah, it looks silly, but that is a genuine reason. It's just because it's packed in my bag.
Okay, you're forgiven.
It's nice that someone asked me that actually, because it's a really good question. So,
It doesn't rain over there. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
No, you can't see the rain through the fog.
Yeah.
I use my hoods on every lens, and I always put them on the right way. Because years ago I was actually climbing. We were looking at an old railway line, and I was climbing onto the platform, and my camera or my lens hit the edge of the platform.
Yep.
But I had the hood on, and from that point I thought, no, I'm not going to be using the hoods on any of my lenses. So they're always on.
The problem we've got with the hoods, yeah, mine fell over and I had the filter ring on, so I was lucky. But I think the biggest problem is that the filters aren't designed to fit under the hoods. So it becomes a bit of an issue, doesn't it? You know, and I've always got filters, I've always got the polarizer on. The only good thing is with them, because they've got the big metal ring on the outside, that does give a bit of protection. But yeah, you've got a good point. You know, if it's going to land face down, then yeah. But then I always said, never carry my camera. If you listen to the vlogs, never carry camera without your lens cover on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, I got, actually, I'll tell you a quick story. A few years back, when I started following the channel, I got a filter for the front of my lens. And I wanted to understand or get a bit of an understanding of, you know, using different filters, and just start checking on YouTube videos. And I came across your videos. And that's when I started following you. And it was really, you know, really good, inspirational. I mean, seeing the two of you, it was awesome. And yeah, I sort of tried to follow your path in some way when I've got time, because work always gets in the way. But yeah, that's how I found you.
It is, yeah, no, it's good. It's good to, you know, we hear different things from different people. So yeah, it is good to hear why people found us, how people found us, why they watch us, you know, and it's good. I enjoy it. We both enjoy it, don't we? So, and she's getting a bit more chatty now, isn't she? So coming out of her shell a little bit.
Yeah, Denise was very quiet most of the time in the background, but now she's
yeah,
the central part of the whole picture.
Definitely.
And unfortunately, well, I'm not moving away from these guys. No Fuji for me. I'm sticking to my very large collection of Pentax gear.
Pentax, yeah.
That was my start off. First major camera for digital for me was a Pentax. I have a matter of fact. Hold on for a second. Still have it. There you go.
Which one is that?
That's a Pentax K10D.
My first one was KR.
Okay.
And then I went to K5s, two of them. K3 2 and a K1.
Okay.
I just think blah 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 blah.
Yeah. Well, I tell you, I will say one thing about Pentax. You will never ever beat the weather sealing of the Pentax.
Yeah.
My Pentax ended up in a river. I dropped it in snowbanks.
That's my little baby.
Oh yeah, just a small one. Now you know I have to upset Paul. Can you read that? Can you read that, Paul?
Oh no! Quick, turn him off. That horrible swear word, Nikon.
Sorry.
If he's actually honest, when because Paul bought me my first camera back 2012, and at the time he was using Sony cameras, and you bought me a Sony A100,
yeah.
and everybody at the camera clubs and things that we were part of saying it's, you know, you need to change your cameras, you need better lenses, you know, it's all about the glass and whatever else. And it was like this massive battle between Nikon and Canon, and the only reason, and he'll admit it himself, the only reason that he picked Canon was because he liked the white lenses.
Yeah, that was it.
That is the,
just because the white lenses look good.
Just because of the white lenses?
Yeah, just
because of the white lenses.
I should have bought the Nikon, because I know the Nikon for landscape is definitely a better camera. So yeah, so I ended up with Canon because I like the white lenses.
So that's why he doesn't actually hate Canon. He just kicks himself left, right, and centre because he didn't pick Nikon.
But it's an ongoing thing, isn't it? It's got to be ongoing from the year dot, Canon and Nikon. You know, if you don't slag each other off, it's no fun in it, is there?
You just like taking the mick out of us Nikon users.
But they'll all be over to Fuji in the end, won't they, Keith?
No.
I'm not sure about that.
It's going to end in 10 minutes.
Just taking it off the screen. Yeah, we've got 10 minutes before the free chat stops. So.
Oh yeah. I have a couple of questions.
Go for it.
Okay.
If you don't mind.
No.
A generic one for anybody, actually. Well, Paul, Denise.
Yeah.
One piece of advice for a beginner photographer. What would you say?
Get up early.
Yeah, that's true.
I've had this conversation before. If you get up early, you've got a good chance to get a photograph. If you make a mess of the sunrise, you're up anyway, so you might as well stay up till sunset. So you've got two chances in one day. So it's about being out there, being up, being out.
I agree.
To me, the first 10,000 photos are crap.
Yeah.
And after 400,000, yeah, you tend to agree. So don't get discouraged by the first number of photos.
No.
Over time, when you walk away from your auto settings or because at the moment pretty much everything I do is manual. I will go to aperture priority at times, but the Pentax has the ability to actually have aperture and shutter priority as a single mode, which I use that mainly for sports and wildlife. But yeah, just don't get discouraged and take a whole lot of photos.
I think some photographers, they can kind of make it sound like it's, you know, rocket science, can't they? You know, when they talk about settings and numbers and this and that and the other, just get out and take a photograph.
Yeah.
I'd
like to take a slightly different tack. I understand Paul's perspective because he considers himself primarily a landscape photographer, but for a beginner, the first advice I would give is take lots of photos and get somebody who's more experienced to critique your photos.
Yes, no, I mean, I've been a photographer for a long time and I've done a lot of different things in camera clubs, and you're right, it's just taking lots of photographs, try different things, try everything and see what you're good at, what you're not good at, and yeah, it's all about taking photographs and just practice. You know, when it's landscapes, it's a slightly different game.
I always tell people as well to, you know, shoot for yourself.
Yes,
Don't worry about other people.
Yes, it's why I started YouTube, because I wanted to show normal photography rather than some of the, you know, what I call the posher pro type ones, like the Thomas Heatons that take the top end one image. You know, there's a lot more to it, and I lost the fun of photography in the camera club because I was only shooting for the judge, and unless it was going to do well, I wouldn't take it, and I lost the fun of photography. So yeah, exactly, that's right. Yeah, go out, take photographs, enjoy what you do for what you want to do it for.
Yeah, I shoot for myself and edit for myself.
Yeah.
One more suggestion is for a beginner, join a camera club.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, the camera club spoiled what I did, but at the beginning it was imperative. It taught me a lot.
Yeah, so don't do like a $200 course or even a 6-month course that at the end of it, you're going to walk out, forget what you're doing,
Yeah.
and lose the drive. Join a camera club, go out there, talk to people that have been there before, ask a whole lot of questions, and put photos on the monthly comps, and be prepared for someone to say, look, it's crap.
Yeah.
And if you do these, it will be really good, and then try those things.
Yeah.
And realize that little tweaks, cropping, makes a hell of a difference to a photo.
It does. You're right.
I think the thing is, as well, there's so many people online that kind of, want to teach you how to do it this way, and that's all right. But then there's this way of doing it, and you have to find somebody that suits your style of what you want to do, how you learn, and the language that they use, because so it's not.
Well, I got a question before we run out of time.
If we do run out of time, I can restart the chat. So,
how is it that all the great YouTubers on photography are Brits? Yourself, Garrett Goff, Gareth Tanks, Kevin Mullins, even Hardcastle.
Yep.
Gavin.
What they don't tell you is they all learned from me.
Okay.
I thought it was Denise.
I was about to say I thought it was Denise.
It was actually. No, there is a lot of photographers in Britain, I must admit, and again, I think it's because it's such a diverse little area. You can go from the sea to mountains, from Pebble Beach to Sandy Beach, hills and grass. There's so much in such a small area compared to where you guys live.
I was going to say that because, like, I love to shoot waterfalls, but in Victoria, where I am, you can't really get to the waterfalls.
Yeah.
They are barricaded, or they're out of bounds.
Yeah.
Unless you go to Queensland or some other states. So there's a lot of landscape, especially architecture, some of your castles and all that.
Yeah.
That makes so much. I mean, such great photos.
And I think that's it as well. We've got a lot of history in Britain. So.
And something.
The other thing too. Sorry, Denise.
No, it's okay. Go on.
The other thing too is you guys have the freedom to roam.
Yes.
Correct?
Yeah.
Like in Ontario, I would probably have to say that at least 70% of the land is private.
Yeah.
So you only have small pockets that you can actually get to. And a lot of the popular areas get to be overcrowded.
Yeah.
So I think you guys have more land mass that you can actually get to.
I think yes, yeah, definitely.
And another point that just really quickly, when we went to the Isle of Skye probably about a year or so ago, didn't we, in the camper van, and we actually bumped into a young lad who was from Canada, I think it was, because it was so cold. We just took him into the van and gave him a hot cup of tea and whatever, and some cheese on toast and warm him up. But he was saying about it, he'd hiked everywhere. And we were saying, that you must be brave to go on your own and everything else. He said, it's a piece of cake over there. He said, because there is nothing that wants to eat you.
That's right. That's
there
true.
There is nothing that wants to fight you or eat you or kill you over here. So somehow we were like,
it was a good point.
We never thought about that.
Yeah. That is a good point.
That's a good point. The most dangerous thing we've got over here, I think, is adders, isn't it?
Yeah. Not very many
snakes up in Scotland, and that's about it. But we don't have to worry about bears. And
no.
So you come up against.
We've got less than 2 minutes left on the timer before it cuts out. So if we want to say, I want to say thank you for coming and joining me on this anyway. And we must have to do it again, at some point.
Alex can now.
I will.
Oh, most definitely. Thanks for having me. I'll tell you that.
We're all
I do have.
Do with this.
I do have one quick question.
Very quickly then.
I have one quick question though. This is actually for Mrs. C. I just want to know. You go on Instagram, and I always see Paul's pictures. we all know that your images are better. So where are yours? Is he a poster?
I have commented on these last
Most
few
of our
vlogs.
images are on Flickr. So.
Yeah, but on the last few vlogs or however many vlogs that he's done, he hasn't included any of my images anymore.
I
so
know.
I'm
I
going to
will.
rectify
I
that.
will.
Going to rectify that.
I'll take it on the head.
He's a bad one.
I will. I'll sort it out.
I
So
had
yes.
to ask that one, Paul. Sorry.
You're all right. You're welcome. So thank you very, very much for joining us. And yeah, it's been brilliant. And yeah,
Stay
just
safe,
thanks.
everybody.
Stay safe.
Take care.
Keep your hands clean.
You too.
And
Yeah.
we will. We'll speak to you again at some point someday.
You too.
Amazing.
You too.
Amazing.
And thank you.
Looking
Thank you
forward
for
to it.
everything.
Yeah, bye.
Bye now.
Thanks, guys.
Take care.
Everyone.
Take care.
Bye.
It was great.
That's it.
Oh, I was desperately trying to take the whip.
Anyway. Now we
So,
dead because she's been sat on me
My
leg.
leg's a bit squashed. And yes, I've still got my shorts on. Yeah, that was the end of the conversation. We've just turned the cameras off and finished that. The M50 obviously died about 30 minutes in, so I didn't get the last sort of switch off. So we had Alex from Australia, we had Keith from Vancouver in Canada, I think it is, and we also had Blair from Toronto in Canada. Thoroughly enjoyed that. Really good to talk to some of the subscribers, and definitely fun to talk to people on other parts of the world. So yeah, if you fancy doing something like this, give us a shout on either Facebook, Instagram. Drop us a comment in down below. Drop us a comment down below, or even contact us on the website through the contact page. I'm sure that Denise, who's just sat right next to you just here, would have a bit of a chat with you, and I'm always up for something like this, especially on a time like this. At the moment, the whole world's on sort of lockdown and we can't go out and wander around the mountains and the hillside, so it gives us something all to do and to talk about. And like I say, it's been really good to actually get to know sort of 3 people that follow us, and I know what they look like now as well as you know what I look like. So yeah, till next time, I'm just going to say thanks for watching. Ciao for now. Don't forget, keep your hands clean, stay safe, and stay inside. Say goodbye, babe.
Bye, babe.
Come here. Say goodbye, babe.
I'm not being ignorant. I'm just posting recipe for the honey, ginger and turmeric bomb
Whatever.
for everyone to drink.
Ciao for
Bye.
now.